Good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be going over the history and geography of Champasak in Laos. Can't see the full name, but we are in Laos. We are in southern Laos, probably as far south in Laos as you can go. Yeah. Down here in the southernmost province of Laos. This area is really fascinating, actually. I'm glad you've joined me tonight. If you've never heard of this area, you're in for a treat because there's some really, really cool history in this little corner of Laos and some really fascinating geography. This province has a border with Thailand and Cambodia, and it is home to the Mekong River. You can see flowing through here, the mighty Mekong River. Down here, this area here, the Mekong splinters off into a bunch of various tributaries, and this area here is known as the 4,000 Islands area. You can see right here, Chute de Khone. I should say, I have no idea how to pronounce anything in this area. I really didn't find anything that explained how to say anything. So if anyone knows correct pronunciations, please let me know in the comments. I'm desperate to know. But I'm going to say Khone. I'm not sure, but Chute de Khone would be how you say it in French. Which is the largest waterfall by volume in Southeast Asia. It's beautiful. We'll look at it on Google Earth, of course. This area over here you can see is the Bolivan Plateau. This area is extremely forested and has some beautiful, beautiful waterfalls. There's a lot of various hikes and expeditions to all of the waterfalls. One of them, which I believe is around like here or so. And again, not sure how to pronounce this, but it's Tad Phan, F-A-N-E, Tad Phan. It is the highest waterfall in Laos, and it's so gorgeous. It's actually a twin waterfall. You're not going to want to miss it when we go to Google Earth to see it. The capital is Pakse, right here. Even though you can see Champasak down there, that's not the capital. Not anymore, at least. We'll talk about it in history. Today, though, this area of Laos is most commonly known for its coffee. There is a huge coffee industry here. Apparently, I'm not a coffee drinker. I love, love, love the smell, but can't stand the taste. It's way too bitter. But apparently the coffee here is amazing. So if you ever have the opportunity to taste coffee from here, or if you're visiting this area, be sure to swing by and grab a cup. Apparently it's very worth it. Maybe I'll like it. I don't know. I've tried coffee so many times throughout my life, and I've always hated it. But maybe I'm just not trying the right beans. Maybe I gotta try beans from somewhere like Laos. Also, I should say, before anyone comments, I know it's pronounced Lao. I know it is. It's Lao in almost every language, including the Lao language. But I am pronouncing all of these countries with American English pronunciation just to keep a consistency, and we say the S. We say Laos. So, I'm sorry. You probably don't say it, but that is how we say it in America. We can't say anything. That's just how we speak. Champasak here has a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So let me grab my tablet and we will read all about it. I have to make sure, though, that you can see my tablet. I'm going to actually turn it this way. I think that's the easiest way to do it. It's probably very crooked, but anyway. We are at Wat Phou and associated ancient settlements within the Champasak cultural landscape. The Champasak cultural landscape, including the Wat Phou temple complex, is a remarkably well-preserved planned landscape more than 1,000 years old. It was shaped to express the Hindu vision of the relationship between nature and humanity, using an axis from mountaintop to riverbank to lay out a geometric pattern of temples, shrines, and waterworks extending over some 10 kilometers. Two planned cities on the banks of the Mekong River are also part of the site, as well as Pho Khao Mountain. The whole represents a development ranging from the 5th to 15th centuries, mainly associated with the Khmer Empire. Let's take a look. There's a lot of cool things in this site. We'll look at them on Google Earth. You did also see it in the intro to this video. But there's a Buddha footprint here. There's all kinds of old shrines you can see that are still being maintained. There is a huge festival here once a year, a lunar festival. You can see man-made lakes. It's absolutely gorgeous, and yes, in the same style as Angkor Wat, the most famous Angkor site by far. But we'll look more at that on Google Earth later in this video. So there were actually many kingdoms that ruled over this corner of Southeast Asia. There was the Fuman and the Chenla kingdoms. The Khmer probably being the most famous for building Wat Phou, and just this area being an important government center for the Angkor kingdom. Eventually, though, this area would come under the reign of the Lanshan kingdom, which was the first Lao kingdom. However, the southern part would break off and form their own kingdom, the Champasak kingdom. That was in 1713. However, the last great power to rule over this area were the French. The Thai signed a treaty with the French in 1905 to establish borders between Siam and the French territory, French Indochina. And the line was drawn here. So this area came under the control of the French. They established Pakse that year as an outpost on the river. And slowly but surely, all of the power moved from Champasak up to Pakse. So that was where the French were doing everything. Eventually, once this area became its own province of independent Laos, it became the capital. There would be a brief interlude, though, during World War I, as the Thai, under the influence of the Japanese, would pretty much have a chokehold on this area. I don't think they straight up invaded this area, but they very heavily controlled the border and probably poked around there. I don't know. Someone confirmed that, because the sources that I read were very vague if whether or not they actually invaded. I don't think they did, but I think they had a very strong influence on this end of the border. But that would eventually end, and in 1945, the French established the Kingdom of Laos to rule over this entire Laos area and the Lao people. Therefore, they officially dissolved the Kingdom of Champasak. I think it was pretty much over by the time the French took over, but it was officially done so in 1945. The Kingdom of Laos, of course, would not last for very long. It lasted a couple of decades until the communists took over, and they're still in power to this day. It's one of those, I want to say, communist, when you think communist country, you think of the Soviets, very brutal and all of that, but it's definitely one of those more modern communist countries like China, where it's not hardline communism anymore, because we figured out the harder you go, the more actual economics will resist you. So it's a bit more fluid in Laos. There's still only one party. There's still tight control of the press, but economically it's a lot more free than Soviet communism, But nevertheless, that is essentially the history of this area. There's a lot of sights to see here, so let's just dim the lights and switch on Google Earth and look at this area on my tablet. Let's go. Here we are in Champasak province. I was telling my brother-in-law, like, I'm going to talk about Champasak tonight. And he's like, Champasak? That's what our cats do all the time. They love to chomp on a sock. So funny. Anyway, let's zoom out so you can see exactly where we are in the world. Here is Laos. I always thought it looks like those like lamb lollipops. Lollipops, they call them. It looks like one of those. It looks like the lamb and then there's the bone. But it can look like whatever you think it looks like. It doesn't have to look like anything. Laos is landlocked. It's surrounded by Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, Myanmar, and China. And this is Southeast Asia. Over here, I guess you could also include like this, like Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia, Singapore, etc. in Southeast Asia. But this right here is like the traditional Southeast Asia. That big lump of land right there. Here's beautiful Champasak province. I wonder if there's anything to designate like the southernmost point. Probably not. No, oh, wait. Oh, surely that's something. Oh, well, let's start down here in the 4,000 islands, which to me looks like around like 20, but they say it's 4,000, then so be it. I guess that is a lot of islands. Okay, I would say probably maybe like 80, but oh, there's some little ones. Maybe there are 4,000 islands. I do not know. But there's some neat stuff down here. We have a historic bridge, which to me looks like it was built during French colonial times due to there being a train here. Pretty sure the French would have built this. There's a nice map of the area here. There's an old French port right here. Let's see what's left of it at least. Not much. Old water tower there. You can get some good food. Little fishing boats. Looks like a parking structure. Maybe that was the old fort. Oh gosh, it's all maybe it was a factory of some kind. It's all overgrown and abandoned now. There's some sweet cows. There's a sweet little right there. Cute. There's a sunset view. But the main sight to see is over here. The Khone waterfalls. Look at this. Gorgeous. Oh, there's a big old, looks like a sacred tree. There's a story there. The Manikot sacred tree. That didn't come up in my research. I should have definitely looked that up. But yeah. Maybe I'll Google that at the end and then hop in and see, because that sounds really interesting. But yeah, here are the waterfalls. Isn't that gorgeous? It's like a tiny little Niagara Falls. But just as beautiful water lilies there, lotuses. Big gorgeous waterfall down here. Okay, let's head up the Mekong. There's the sticky rice cooking school. Learn how to cook with some sticky rice. Yeah, I guess it is a lot of islands. I guess. Alright, let's head up to, let's go to Champasak, the actual town. Here we go. And over here we can see the Wat Phou. You can see the planned town here. It was built around this area. And here's what's left of this beautiful temple complex. That's really pretty. Old overgrown pathway there. Looks like it's leading up to something. And this beautiful walkway. All those pillars left behind. It is gorgeous here. From what I've seen, there's a lot of like not like tourist trap, but like they'll like overcharge you like crazy if you don't look Asian, basically. Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. That's beautiful. Like if you're like an obvious tourist, they're gonna charge you way more for just like cheap stuff. But definitely still worth coming out to see. Oh, there's a cool cave there. Big trees you saw in the intro. The end of this path. Beautiful. Yeah, they have a huge festival here in like February, March, depending on the moon. It's a Buddha footprint. One of the many places in the world you can find the Buddha's footprint. There it is. There in the rock. And I think this slideshow also had some cool pictures. Oh yeah, look at that. You can explore these temples. Very stunning. Oh wow, look at it from above. That's amazing. It's a beautiful sight and thankfully protected by UNESCO. So if all goes well, no harm will come to this place. And if it does, then it will have the funding needed to repair it. Always good to protect places like this forever, so that we never forget our ancient heritage, our cultural heritage. Let's go up to Pakse, which I don't think I really found anything like really interesting here. And nothing too great. There was this nice spot where it looks like the Hayden River meets the Mekong. It's the Sunset Beach. Beautiful. You can see the river here, the mighty, mighty Mekong, and these beautiful clouds. My goodness, it is a nice sunset spot. Golden hour here must be amazing. Yeah, pretty great. That's a nice spot. It's apparently a lot of Thai people that come here because it's just over the border. So there's lots of shopping and hotels and such. The Friendship Mall. Things like that. We head up here. These national parks are in Thailand. So we won't look at those, but you can see this amazing forest landscape twisting through all of these huge mountains up here. Isn't that gorgeous? Look how thickly forested it is here. But the main event is over here. Ta-da. On this side. Oh, that's the waterfall. Spoilers. Look at all the waterfalls. Let's find the waterfall. It is, there's the Tiger Waterfall. Hydropower. I think I've forgotten where it is. There's Atapa down there we already visited during the A's. I'm not going to be able to find it. You really got to zoom in. Look at all the waterfalls. There's a coffee farm down there. Yeah, let me just type it in. It's in my recent searches, I'm sure. Yep, right there. I'll be scrolling around forever. Oh, I was so close. But yeah, look at this. Amazing. I didn't look it up, but I'm sure there's some legend about some like two sisters or something that got turned into waterfalls. There always is at places like this. You can go zip lining. I won't do that, but you're free to do so. Look how beautiful. The tallest waterfall in Laos. Isn't that gorgeous? Yeah, that'd never be me. It sure wouldn't. There's a million things I'd rather do than zip line over a huge canyon. Look at the cool bamboo. That's pretty neat. Oh, that's the zip lining area. I'm just going to stay away from that. Alright, let's poke around. There's so many other things to see. Here's Champasak. Wow. The backside of water's over here. Beautiful. Big rapids too. There's some really pretty ones around here. As always, I highly encourage you to poke around this area yourself. We already saw that and see what you can find, because all of these pictures are great. I spent a lot of time poking around Laos and found some beautiful photographs, as you can see. Lots of nice, neat stacked rocks. I'm sure you'll find some good ones too. Let's see. See, apparently there's a trail where you can hit all the major waterfalls, but my goodness, that must take you weeks to get through this area. What's this? Oh my goodness. Beautiful. That's amazing. What was the one I found then? There are like people who are just like fully dressed in the water taking photos, and it's roll up your sleeves like you're getting all wet. And then there's some hydropower right there. There's the Tad Koi Loi Phar waterfall, which is a great name. Isn't that pretty? Yeah, like I got exhausted reading about all of oh, how sweet, elephant in the water. Reading about all of the famous waterfalls in this area, and I'm like, I'm going to confuse them all, so I'm not going to bother learning them. Except, why does Doraemon pop up all the time in these slideshows? Every time, doesn't matter where we are in Asia, you'll find a Doraemon somewhere. So wild. Anyway. But yeah, there's loads of famous waterfalls over here. Let's look at the Tiger Waterfall. It keeps popping up. Wow. Yeah, they're all pretty great. So yeah, I won't spend more time looking at all of these water. Look at that. That's amazing. Wow, I want to like climb it. That's so cool. I won't show you every single one. I think you should go look up waterfalls for yourself in your spare time and see what you can find. See a bit more of the beauty of Laos. Oh, that could never be me. Never, never, never. Oh, gosh. I can appreciate the beauty from afar. I don't need to get that close over the gorge. No, thank you. Beautiful. The Tiger Waterfall. So I'm going to end it there. Let's find one more slideshow to look at. Let's look at it. One more waterfall. So pretty. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this style of content, please consider subscribing. Next, we're going to be heading over to India. Just over there. But, well, we won't be going to a state in India. Where could we be going? Somewhere that's not a state. Let me know if you know. Somebody already asked me recently if we were going there soon, and I was like, yep, coming up. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. They're taking a great photo there. Oh, even better. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments. That's what this guy's saying. Let me know all your thoughts down below in the comments. Cute, 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 cute. And then there's that guy. I hope that you found this video to be relaxing and educational. And I hope that you have a good night. Good night. Did we look at this slideshow? Oh, that's right. There isn't one here. There's just a picture of a nice face. Okay, good. Good night. Good night.